We are keeping an eye on the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals. You can watch it on Game Center Live tonight as the Blue Jackets go for a 17th consecutive win. Here is their general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen, who is going to accept all praise and all responsibility for this incredible run.
His new nickname is Genius.
Jarmo, the Genius Kekalainen.
He's always considered himself one,
with Darren Millard,
but he's really one now.
Nick Kypreos and Doug McLean. How do you capitalize this winning streak for the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Well, you could always keep in mind what happened last year. That'll keep your feet firmly on the ground. I think that's a good start. And I think we still want to approach it the way we've approached it right from the start, that we go one day at a time. We're a young group, and we just want to keep getting better. But obviously, there's a lot of hype now and expectations and excitement around the team and the group. So you want to enjoy it as well. But I think it's a great challenge, too. It's a great opportunity, obviously, to be making history. But I think still the 2 points are the most important part here every day. And we're not going to be sneaking up on anybody anymore. So tonight's going to be a tough challenge.
Jarmo, I remember about year 4, I was walking through the Toronto airport, and a fan yells at me, "Hey, McLean, what are you doing now?" And I said, "I'm in Columbus." And he said, "Oh, don't worry, you'll fight your way back to the NHL." And and every time we'd check into a hotel and we'd say, "Well, we're with Columbus and we're an NHL team," they'd say, "Columbus has an NHL team?" Finally, it's hitting now, isn't it? After 16 years, people know that there's an NHL team in Columbus and they're a contender. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I've ran into the same problem myself a couple of times with people wondering. It really makes me angry. So I'm hoping that we could get over those days and finally get established. And the one theme that we've had around the team and that John Tortorella has been preaching is that we want to earn our respect. But the thing with respect is that you have to earn it every night, and you can lose it in an instant. So we got to keep earning it, keep working hard, and hopefully we'll be recognized in all the airports and hotels soon.
Jarmo, when you look back, and you want to stay in the present for sure, but when you look back at this last month that you had in December, and including the game against Edmonton, is there one thing that sticks out in your mind more than anything? Is it the goaltending? Is it when you needed a power play goal, you got it? Is it the depth of 4 lines? What is it that stands out in your mind when you look at the run?
The thing that I like the most is our consistency. I think we've been very consistent through the streak, and even before that, we've had a couple of games where we haven't been as good as we have been on the best nights, but then the goaltending has bailed us out, and then on the nights that we're playing at our best, the goaltending's been good, but didn't need to be great. So I think it's been a good blend of those. I think our specialty teams, everybody says that can't sustain that percentage, but they've been sustaining it for a while now, and they keep evolving and finding new ways to do it. So, that's, again, I'm saying the same thing again, but I think every night's going to be more and more of a challenge where teams, the opposition is going to take us more than serious from now and want to knock us off our streak, but want to also get our scalp and beat us after the streak's over.
Darren Millard, Nick Kypreos, and Doug McLean on Hockey Central at noon chatting with Jarmo Kekalainen, the Columbus Blue Jackets general manager. His team has an NHL record opportunity tonight to go for a 17th consecutive victory as they take on the Washington Capitals, and you can see it on Game Center Live. Has the marketing department, anybody come towards you and trying to jump on this or play it up a little bit more?
Are you asking if he's doing a commercial now?
No. Media or something like that?
When we were 0-8 last year, it must have been one tough selling job for them, and so I'm happy for those people that things are going well. It's probably a lot easier to pick up the phone and call potential customers and partners now than it was a year ago. So I think it's good for everybody, good for all the people. The scouting staff has done a great job for us, and they see their rewards there on the ice, and they get their praise, and they should, because that's the lifeline of any NHL organization nowadays. So I'm happy for all the people involved with the Blue Jackets that we're finally earning some respect.
What about, I know Cam Atkinson was there before you arrived on the scene. When did you realize how good a player this kid is and could be? Because he was relatively new to the league when you got there.
I think the best thing about Cam is that he seems to be getting better all the time. I think he's a very ambitious athlete who's pushing himself to get to the next level. He's been very consistent through the time that I've been here. Obviously everybody's probably always knocked him about his size, but he might be 5'8", but he's a strong and fast and quick and explosive 5'8". That's really hard to handle, especially in today's NHL when you can't hook and hold. And he keeps finding new ways to score. He's been a big part of the power play, obviously, this year, but he's got that one-on-one skill that I always kind of look for in a forward that can create odd man rushes and create odd man situations out of the corner by beating somebody one-on-one. But the best thing about Cam is that I think there's yet another level that he can get to.
Hey, Jarmo, we know as a general manager, you're constantly thinking about your team, chemistry. I'm sure going into this season, you had somewhat of a wish list of ways that you can improve your team or add some depth or where you felt it was weak. What does this streak now do to that mindset, and how much has it altered since you've been able to establish what you think is a pretty good room right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing probably going into the season in everybody's mind was that do we have enough scoring? We don't have what you call like a big star or like the true first line talent, if you want to call it that. But I think that the guys have developed into that. Brandon Saad, I think, leads the league in 5-on-5 points right now, and Alexander Weinberg's really gone to a next level and developed into a I don't know if you want to call him first-line center. If you want to call him a second-line center, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty good line with Weinberg and Saad and Foligno, and we get scoring from 4 lines. So, sure, we might not have the biggest star on our team, but I think our biggest strength is the team. And, those guys are really pulling for each other. And that's the one thing that we saw last year. We went through a really tough period of time, but I didn't see a lot of finger-pointing or excuses or guys bailing out or getting mad at each other and blaming each other. They were pulling together. They liked each other then. They like each other more now. And they trust each other and respect each other. So I think those are the big things of a great team. And we are a team. And hockey is one of those great sports that really, truly is a team sport. So maybe you don't need that big star.
Whatever jumped into your head the day you signed Gagner? Like this is a guy that was down and out, wasn't going to get a job, maybe, and yet what he's done...
Scored 8 points in one game.
What he has done in Columbus has been amazing. It may be the best offseason signing there was.
Well, I get a lot of good help from the people that I have around me at the office. Basil McRae.
Jeff Rimmer?
Jeff Rimmer, we get advice from him all the time. He's great. And Billy Zito, who's great at being organized and making sure that we always stay organized. And I always try to go back to the amateur scouting days, too. I watched Sam Gagner and Patrick Kane in London, and oh, boy, was that worth the admission there, watching those two guys play junior. And Sam Gagner is a pretty good player in the NHL for many years and was drafted 5th overall for a reason. And I think it was a perfect opportunity for both. We needed skill. We needed a right-handed guy for power play, a guy who can play center or wing, and he needed an opportunity to play in that kind of setting. And he probably looked at our team and said, "Hey, I can fit on that team and I can fill that role." And I think that what we were selling him in the summertime, we had John Tortorella as part of our sales group at that time, was that, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to show what you got because we need skill. And he believed us and signed with us, and it's been great so far.